Welcome to Should You Platinum, a show where I talk about a game I've recently got the Platinum in and share my experience of the Platinum journey and whether or not I think you should Platinum it. And in today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the Karate Kid Street Rumble, which is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up that takes you through the first 3 Karate Kid movies, and it's very similar in style to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. There's 4 characters to pick from and a bunch of extra modes that you can unlock upon completing the story, like a boss rush mode which tasks you with facing off against various bosses in different scenarios, and an endless mode where you'll face wave after wave of enemies which increases in difficulty as you progress through each round. Alongside that, the game will often give you a bunch of different mini-games that occur throughout the story, and you can replay these too, and they really just test your button mashing skills. And while they seem a bit of throwaway fun during the story, usually only lasting around 30 seconds, it's these mini-games that will drastically increase the game's platinum difficulty and make you want to rage quit this platinum hunt, because these make the platinum difficulty a solid 9 out of 10. Trust me, these are tough, and one of them took me 10 hours to beat. So, the Karate Kid is available on PS4 and 5, but there's no trophy auto-pop. There's 18 bronze, 13 silver, 4 gold, and 1 platinum trophy to earn. So let's look at the story-based trophies you can unlock in Karate Kid Street Rumble. So, the game has 12 levels, and I think my first story playthrough took me around 2.5 hours. With this story mode playthrough, you will unlock a bunch of trophies, a mixture of bronze and silver. There's the All Valley Champion trophy for completing the Karate Kid Part 1 story, the Onikawa's Hero trophy for completing the Karate Kid Part 2 story, then the silver All Valley Legend trophy for completing Part 3 story, and then after beating the game for the very first time, you will unlock another bronze trophy called First Learn Stand, then Learn Fly. The game also has a bunch of difficulty related trophies requiring you to play through the story mode at least 3 times to unlock them all. The first is the silver Don't You Have Something a Bit Harder trophy for beating the game on hard mode, and then the silver Karate Yes or Karate No for beating it on very hard mode, and then finally upon completing it on No Mercy, you'll unlock the gold Must Not Lose Heart. But unfortunately none of these difficulties stack, so you'll have to do them all separately. The game also has a bunch of skill-based trophies requiring you to reach certain ranks throughout the levels, which I thought was going to be quite hard, like Streets of Rage 4, but in actual fact these were just really easy, to be honest, and I got most S ranks on all of the levels just by playing through the story on hard for the first time. So you'll unlock the Leica Wind trophy for achieving an S ranking for the first time, and you'll get an S rank pretty simply by just playing through the level and not dying and killing all the enemies you come across. And another good way to ensure an S rank or even an S plus rank is to try and complete the 3 bonus objectives that you'll get through each level. So every level will have different bonus objectives. They might be to defeat 5 or 10 enemies with your signature move by pressing R1, or it might be doing heavy attacks or aerial attacks or grab attacks. They're all fairly straightforward, and if you just pause the game when you're in a level, you can see on that pause screen the stats for each challenge to see how far away you are from unlocking them, so it's quite good in that respect. So yeah, there's a Perfectionist trophy for achieving an S plus rating, which again, if you just do all the bonus objectives in one of the levels, set it to easy, you'll easily be able to get that trophy. There's also a BA Champion silver trophy for completing all of the levels with an A rating or higher. So like I said, I got S ranks on most of the levels as I just went through naturally, so you should easily get that one by the time you've completed the game once. Then there's a final skill-based trophy, a gold one called Don't Be a Champion, Be a Legend, and that is just for completing all of the levels with an S rating or higher. So yeah, just remember to try and do all of the bonus objectives, kill every enemy you come across. You'll easily be able to get like 100 plus hit combo. You'll probably end up with like 300-400 hits when you go through the game, because it's just so easy to not get hit because you have that power bar. So those should be pretty simple to get. So after beating the game for the first time, you'll lock a bunch of extra modes, including Boss Rush and Endless and Arcade. So we'll look at Arcade mode first. So in this mode, you only get 3 lives, so I'd definitely recommend you going through with your favourite character, which is probably going to be Daniel-san. He has a lot of good moves, and his purple focus bar actually builds up really quickly, and you can just get to a point where you're just mashing square to attack enemies, and they won't be able to hit you because you can build up that purple bar to give you a shield quicker than they can actually damage it by hitting you. So you'll never end up getting hit, and it's great on bosses too. So once you beat a level in arcade mode, you'll get the custom fit trophy, and then if you complete all the levels in the arcade mode, you'll get the like the good old days silver trophy. So arcade mode is pretty easy, to be honest. You'll get 3 lives with Daniel-san. If you're struggling, go with like Kamiko or something, because you can get more lives with her, but you shouldn't really need them, and I'm pretty sure they give you lives back in between each level. I think I only died once or twice, so yeah, it's a very simple one. If you've already beaten the game, you should be able to get that with no problem. So now we move on to the endless mode. So this is a wave based mode where you just fight tons of enemies with each wave, and it will gradually increase as you go through. There's 2 trophies attached to this mode: combat without end for just simply completing a run. So you could just go in, play it, beat the first round and die, and you'll get that trophy. And there's another one for reaching round 50, but you actually have to beat round 50, not just reach it, and that is a silver trophy called Complete Mastery. So my tips for this would just be to go with your favourite character and know how to deal with every enemy. For me, the biggest threats in this mode were the enemies with the chains and whips, so I would just want to prioritise those and take them out straight away, because if you get knocked back by them, there's a good chance that you'll end up just dying because everyone else will hit you as you're being knocked back, and you'll just lose all your health. So yeah, ones with sticks as well. All I did with them to deal with them was do my jump and heavy kick attack at them, and just keep hitting them to take them out. And if you've got an R1 signature move, just use it on them to just take those enemies out straight away. The rest you can pretty much deal with pretty easily. Like I said with Daniel-san, you can see it in this clip here, I build up my purple focus bar fully, which just enables me to become godlike and invincible. So even if enemies hit me and chip away at that purple bar, I can hit them and deal damage to them quicker and build up the bar than they can actually take it down, so I end up never really ever getting hit. Crowd control enemies by doing the forward triangle move or the jump triangle move, and just go through it and just be aggressive. That's the best way to do it, because with Daniel-san you can just become invincible. You can see it in these clips here. And use your focus bars. Oh, and also after so many rounds you'll see there's a bonsai tree and food at the bottom. So the bonsai tree will instantly refill your purple focus meter, and the food will obviously give you health back. So when they appear, just use them, because they do reappear, and unfortunately you can't just leave 2 there and then have another 2 appear. They'll only reappear once you've used them, so you might as well just use them whenever you need to. But yeah, the biggest threats are going to be those enemies with the whips, sticks and chains. The rest of them are fairly simple to kill. Occasionally you'll get the bigger boss enemies, and these enemies here, just be aggressive with them. Do this jump kick here, that kind of chips away at their health, and it'll give you a big chunk of purple focus meter if you're playing as Daniel. So yeah, just be aggressive. That's my best tip for this mode, and if you just keep trying, you'll eventually get it. And just remember, you do have to beat the 50th round in order to pop this trophy. Okay, next up is the boss rush mode. So this mode has a series of challenges. I think there's probably about 20, and each one requires you to beat a set amount of bosses. So you might get a challenge where you have to face off against every version of the Johnny Lawrence boss fight back to back, or you might find you have to fight against every student and master back to back. There's a nice little mixture of fights here, but unfortunately they do take quite a while, and you have to beat them all 3 times, because you need to do it on all 3 of the difficulties: hard, very hard and no mercy. But you'll get a trophy every time you complete the boss rush mode. So there's the They've Been Training 2 silver trophy for beating it on hard, the Boiling Hot trophy, you'll get a silver for that for beating it on very hard, and then you'll get a gold trophy called Show No Mercy for completing all of the boss rushes on no mercy difficulty. So again, just go with your favourite character, and just use those to get through. You can always take in a second player if you need to, if you're struggling, so you've got another character to switch to, but you should be okay with this if you've already beaten these story modes once already, so it shouldn't really give you too much trouble. It's just annoying that you have to play through the whole thing 3 times, because it'll probably take you about an hour or so to burn through them all. There's also a bunch of XP leveling up trophies, so at the end of every level that you complete, you will earn XP for that character, and there's a bunch of trophies that will unlock when you reach level 10 with each of the 4 characters. And then there's a further 4 trophies that will unlock, 1 for each character, when you reach their maximum rank, which is level 20. So with all of these trophies out of the way, there's then an extra trophy on top of that that will unlock once you've leveled up that final character to level 20, called the Strongest Team, which is a gold trophy for leveling up all of the characters to max level. So some good XP tips I would give is to make sure that you complete the bonus objectives that are in each level, because they will give you additional XP. Another good tip that I would give is, if you have extra controllers, to bring them into the level with you. So what you want to do is you want to play through the level solo, then when you get to the final boss, join into the game with those controllers, so you can pick the other 2 characters that you might need to level up and just kill the boss, because those 2 idle characters can just sit in the corner as you wail on the boss with your main character, and all 3 of those characters then will gain XP. You can also use your lowest ranked characters in the mini games, because you'll be playing those quite a lot, and each time you'll earn XP, and again you can bring in 3 or 4 controllers to level up your characters there as well. Finally, we have the minigame trophies, and this is where the platinum difficulty really increases, because all of these are mostly just unfair and really strict in their requirements. The first one you'll come across is the Karate for Defense Only trophy, which requires you to get a score of 35 in the karate practice minigame. So this one just basically requires you to press the correct buttons to make the combos that appear on screen, but in order to get the amount of points that you need in the time limit, you're going to have to always mash square, even when the next combo hasn't appeared on screen. So as soon as you complete a combo, keep mashing square, and once the combo appears, you'll be partway through that combo to allow you to get enough points in time. Next up is the Beginner Luck trophy for getting a score of 50 on the Catch Fly minigame, and this is one of the rare minigames that actually just works like a normal minigame and has an easy requirement score to reach. So for this one, you just want to make sure that you press the button as soon as that gold ring enters into that white circle, in order to just do it as quick as possible and unlock this Beginner Luck trophy. You shouldn't really have too many problems on this. I think I got it on my first attempt. Next up, we have the hardest thing to do in the game, unlock the Bronze Learn Fly trophy, which requires you to reach a score of 90 on this crane training minigame, which means you have to get every single hit, all 90 hits in a row, without ever making a mistake, pressing the button at the exact time that grey circle passes through that green zone as it swings back and forth. This one is really solid, and it took me 10 hours, but I've made a separate video explaining how I did it, so go and check that out. The next one we have is another weirdly easy one, and it's the Ask Drum trophy, which requires you to get a score of 100 in the drum technique minigame. So with this one, all you have to do is press circle at the right time to dodge that thing that's swinging at you. It's really simple, just make sure you're pressing it to dodge every time it swings back and forwards, and you should get it without too much trouble. I think it took me 2 attempts, because the first point I didn't really know what was going on, but yeah, it shouldn't give you too many problems. Next up, we have a bronze trophy, Quicksilver rules, which requires you to get a score of 125 in the No Mercy lesson. Now this is another BS one, because I couldn't physically press that button, square, 125 times within 30 seconds. I would always get to around 113, so I had to use a turbo controller in order to get this done. So if you haven't got one of those, then, well, Godspeed, because I don't know how you're going to do it. Like I said, these are really unfair and BS. Finally, we have the Back Where You Belong trophy for reaching a score of 70. So just like with the Karate is for Defense Only, you're going to have to be mashing square in between each combo appearing on screen in order for you to start the next combo before it actually appears on screen. You'll probably get like 2 presses into that combo. So once you learn all the combos that are appearing, you should be able to do it using that technique, and that should give you enough time to score enough points to unlock that trophy. Then, once you've done all of that, you'll finally earn the Miyagi-Do Master Platinum Trophy. And I was really shocked there was no trophy called Wax On, Wax Off. I think that was a missed opportunity, or put them in a body bag. What happened? But yeah, if you can do all that, you'll get all of the trophies and the platinum. So I guess all that's left for me to say is whether you should plat it, play it, or avoid it. And to be honest, this platinum journey sucked because of those minigames, so I would say avoid it.